Somebody asked, should the refs have conferred and picked up the flag instead of rushing to announce the DPI and then confer while water bottles rained down before reversing themselves? Ref crew did not help the still inexcusable response by upset fans. Okay. This opens up the Pandora's box, which we need to get to. I explained it Saturday night on the air, but I realized not everybody was listening to us. Some were at the game and unable to listen or didn't. Some were watching and listening to the television call. Some might not have been around a radio or whatever. But what I'm about to tell you is it's a combination of things about the stuff that happened in the moment there on Saturday night. And some of it retroactively comes from the SEC in their statement, and the other is something that happened almost in the real time that was happening. I got word from actual football officials about the procedure that was going on. So, obviously, we're talking about the interception by Jahdae Barron. Do you have that highlight? You were playing that. You were kind of working with that as Viking fence defensive play of the game, right?
Jahdae's, you want it? Hear it?
Yeah, sure. All right. So here's the play. Here's what happened on the play. 3rd down and 9, Georgia from the Bulldog 31. Shotgun snap, the back sends it out left. Intercepted. Jahdae Barron. Barron 25, 20, 15, 10. Turns it down to the 9-yard line. Jahdae Barron brings it all the way back to the 9. And the Longhorns will have 1st and goal. Okay. Now, let me tell you that as I called it, I saw the flag come out. And then, of course, and this is not a bad thing, but whenever that happens and I'm in the middle of a call, I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 additional people in the booth, and they're all waving like flag, flag, flag. And that's okay. And I kind of hold up my hand to acknowledge it. Yeah, I understand it, but I'm going to finish the call in case the call was against the other team, which ultimately that's exactly what happened. I even said on the air, see, that's why we finish out the call, the highlight call, that kind of thing. But in the moment, as we know, pass interference was originally called against Jahdae Barron. Now, I understand where fans have come through. I've read a lot of social media stuff between going out to LA and back in the last 24 hours. And it really started not long after the play itself happened on Saturday night. I understand where a lot of fans said, it was a bleeping bleep call or whatever. It was a terrible call, yada, yada. And it incited the fans to throw the bottles. And then when all the stuff was being thrown on the field, that's when the officials got together and changed their mind. That is incorrect. That's incorrect. I've read another tweet where somebody said that they were ready to snap the ball. No, they were not.
Nope.
That was not correct either. Right after it happened, when Sark was kind of, questioning it and was jumping up and down and saying what he was saying to the officials, the officials then started to gather to discuss it. At about the same time that students and fans in that northeast corner started pelting the end zone and out on the field with the plastic contour water bottles and then other debris as well, which is never good. That should never be allowed. Sark even walked out there and said, hey, knock it off. We don't do that, so on and so forth. They made public address announcements, all that kind of stuff. We saw the officials go down there. Then the officials come back. The call gets reversed. But it didn't get reversed because of any gap in time between what happened with the bottles. It didn't get reversed because of the water bottle incident or the debris throwing incident. It didn't get reversed on review either. It's not a reviewable play, although many feel that pass interference should be reviewed. That's not why it got reversed. Why it got reversed is, and from the SEC, they said the officials got together. I believe it was the field judge who threw the flag for defensive pass interference, meant to tell the referee, I've got OPI, offensive pass interference. But he didn't. He said, I got a DPI. And so then the referee looked over there and he saw Jahdae and he said, number 7. He goes, yeah. The official said, yeah. So then they made the announcement. Of course, everybody loses their mind and they go crazy and all that other kind of stuff. Then they start to, I think the official got a little bit confused. Says, wait a minute. And they started to have a conversation. Then the debris comes down. All right. It's later on, after the fact was, after all that happened and the stuff was cleaned up and all of that, and Sark made his plea to them. And then the announcement was made by Matt Leffler, the referee, that it was not a defensive pass interference call. After all of that happened, we were saying on the air, I've never seen that before, where that would happen after. I've never seen that happen before. Well, we didn't know all the stuff that went into it, that when they got together again, when they reconvened, then they said, no, it's an offensive pass interference. Here's the rub of what happened. Why was there the delay before that happened? One reason, and one reason only: safety. I had text messages coming from officials who said in that sequencing, in that moment, the first job of the referee and his crew is to secure the safety on the field of the people on the field. So you go and deal with the safety issue first of the bottles and the trash. Then you come back and finish the discussion. It wasn't that the discussion was set up by the debris being thrown onto the field. They had already started to walk together to convene when the trash hit the field. Then they immediately have to turn their attention to go up to the northeast corner, get that resolved, then come back and deal with it. So then they deal with it, and it's an offensive pass interference call. And the reason you didn't hear Matt Leffler, the referee, say offensive pass interference is because Texas had declined it. He just said, yeah, we're going down here. And then boom, to get the game going again, it's down at the 9-yard line. That's what happened. But I understand how the appearance can look like, oh, yeah, then they had a chance to go back and review it, or then they had a chance to go back. No, they had already started to gather to discuss it when the trash was hitting the field. Then they immediately, by rule and by their policy, have to go and diffuse that situation before they can discuss it. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that's what happened on that. So, somebody said, "Hey, Craig, did you get to meet Herb Street and Ben? I saw that you were right next to them in the booth. You got a little TV time on Saturday." Thanks to Jacob from Denison. I've met Kirk before. I've visited with Herbie. In fact, I've had him on my show in the past. Good dude. I get along with him fine. I've not had a chance to meet Ben yet. You know who really wants to meet Ben is my wife. She loves Ben. She wants to meet Ben. And so no, I have not had a chance to meet Ben, but Kirk I know. Somebody else says roasty toasty. They like those Cheez-Its. And then someone said Tom Brady now owns 10% of the Las Vegas Raiders, although Brady himself is 100% owned by the New York Giants. And that's cute. SNL Weekend Update there. All right. Anyway, so there is more of that explanation. Hopefully that kind of helps. Now, none of that condones, accepts, understands, or any of that what happened in the northeast corner of the end zone with the throwing of the trash. It's always an absolute no. You can't have it. You just can't have it. University's fined $250,000. They are instituting their policy where they're scanning video to see if they can identify, because this is also, by the way, mandated by the SEC. They have to make a good faith effort to see if they can identify person or persons who were throwing the debris on the field and take action against those persons, whether it's revoking tickets or this or that or whatever it is. They have to do that as part of this policy from the SEC.
It's similar, Craig, to what happened in 2022 against Alabama. Remember when we thought Bryce Young was sacked in the end zone for a safety, and it turns out he was.
Should have been,
and they ended up calling personal foul against Texas defensively. The student section, which is right behind that end zone, ended up throwing things on the field after the play. And again, does not condone it, but
no,
when this was happening, it was like,
not.
this is exactly just like Alabama 2 years ago.
And I understand the Texas fans getting into it with Georgia fans posting the stories about when Georgia did it back in 2021, all that other kind of stuff. 27,000 wrongs don't make a right. It just, all of it's wrong. Every bit of it's wrong. You just can't have it for safety's sake, for sportsmanship's sake, for all of it. Can't have it. And I think everybody knows that. But and I won't put it 100% on the students, but the vast majority were students. Those who were there, you still should know better. Can't do it.